Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, and it is a beautiful, mostly sunny day here in Maryland, going up to about 60 degrees, which is going to feel really good considering we've had a couple days of rain here. Good to see the sun again. But today I'm tackling a question of speed versus efficiency. Now, I have always thought that those two things go hand in hand. If you're more efficient, it should be faster, right? Well, today I'm met with a situation where I'm not so sure that's going to be true. We're going to slow things down to be more efficient. I'm going to explain all that to you here in just a second. But you know, we split that cherry last week on the video, which was actually just a couple days ago. Well, today we're going to split all that. I'm going to explain to you why I'm running into a little bit of a problem. Also, you see the trailer over here, we finally got some lettering on it, some decals on it, the new bundle wagon. So that thing is full of firewood bundles to make my store deliveries a little more efficient. I just hook up to the trailer and go rather than having to load the trailer every time. So that's what's been going on around here the last few days. I'm going to spin you around here and show you what I'm talking about this morning, so stick around. All right, so here is the situation. You see we've got two totes set up here next to the Eastonmade axis because we're going to be splitting this little pile of cherry rounds on the axis this morning. And I always use the conveyor on the axis to load my totes for all my bundle wood. That's the main purpose of this machine here, is to split my bundle wood for me. And it does a really good job. And when I'm splitting that dry, dead ash, when I load these totes with the conveyor, that wood only stays in there maybe a month or two before it's ready to go. It gets made into bundles, either put in storage or sold, and that bin is empty again and ready to go. Now I'm separating all my cherry now. I'm not putting it in my mixed hardwoods firewood piles. So the cherry is also going in totes now. I've been doing the same operation with the cherry, just running it up the conveyor and into the totes. But my situation is I'm running low on IBC totes. So I've got a couple of them sitting here. And what I'm going to try to do today is get all of this wood in these two totes. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to stack the wood in the totes. Now, I know that I've said several times I'm moving away from stacking, which I still am on board with. But in order to get all this wood in these two totes, since I'm in limited supply of them right now, I am going to stack it. So that answers the question, right? While it's more efficient to stack wood in totes because you can get a larger volume of wood in there, it's going to slow my process down because I'm not just going to be able to toss the wood onto the conveyor and let it fill the tote loosely. So we're slowing things down to become more efficient. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is going to slow me way down or if I'm even going to stick with this method. It's just something I'm trying, and I figured I'd bring you along with me to see how much longer it's going to take me to do it this way versus just loading it loosely in the tote. I know some other guys stacking their totes right off of the axis, but it's certainly going to slow me down. You know, it's amazing how these totes have become such a popular item. Just a year or two ago, I was getting these totes for absolutely free. I would just go pick them up 12 or 15 at a time and bring them back and stockpile them. And since then, it has evolved into a situation where most people want $50 or $60 for an empty tote, which I'm just not going to pay that money for. I will make do with what I have or pick up one or two here and there when I can find them. Oh, there we go. There's 2 full totes. A little less than an hour, 45-50 minutes probably of splitting and stacking there. But my question that I was thinking about while I was splitting this wood is, how much more wood are you getting in a tote by stacking it rather than just letting it go in loosely off the conveyor? That might be a test I want to try, unless maybe somebody has already tried it and can let me know. But I'm curious to how many pieces of wood are in a tote that's stacked versus how many pieces of wood are in a tote that was just tossed in loosely. If it's double the amount of wood, then it might be worth doing it this way. But I gotta tell you, there's something special about just tossing the wood aside from the splitting wedge right into the conveyor and being done with it. The beginning of this process, when you're bent over, standing up and bending over the whole time to get those piles started, is not pleasant. And I know I could probably stack these up on a few pallets here so I don't have to bend over so far. But I'm not sold on this yet, but that's 2 totes worth. Didn't quite get all the rounds split. There's still this here left. So what I could do is come over here to these. Got a few totes over here of loose cherry. What I could do is take an empty tote and just start stacking out of this tote into an empty one and see how full the tote gets, since obviously these are full. About the same size split, so it would be a good test. Maybe I'll do that here coming up. If any of you have tried that, let me know. So that's what's left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 8, about 21 rounds left there that we didn't get split. And I would do that today, but I don't have my skid loader here in the yard to move these full totes out of the way. These totes are going to be stuck here right next to the axis for a couple days. The skid loader is over at my house because I'm rebuilding the batting cage for the kids. You know, baseball and softball season is in full effect. We took the batting cage down last year to kind of redo it and move it to a different location. So I'm in the process of putting that back up. So no skid loader here right now. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go down on the 1222. I've got some locust rounds down there that I'm going to get split up. But I just wanted to kind of show you this process here along with me and the way my mind was thinking. Because I know you all always have some good ideas and you always have some good suggestions. Even some criticism sometimes, but when I do something like this that get my wheels turning, I like to put it on video for you all to see and to comment on. So let me know. Also, tomorrow night, if you're watching this video on the day it comes out, which is Wednesday, tomorrow night is our monthly live stream, so I hope to see you all there. That's going to be it for today. Take care, everybody, and if I don't see you tomorrow night, we'll see you next Wednesday morning. Have a great week.